The General Lee is an orange 1969 Dodge Charger driven in the television series The Dukes of Hazzard, which aired in 1979. It is known for its signature horn, police chases, jumps, and for having its doors welded shut, leaving the Dukes to climb in and out through the windows. The car's name is a reference to General Robert E. Lee of the Confederate States Army during the American Civil War. It bears a Confederate battle flag on its roof and also has a horn which plays the first 12 notes of the song Dixie. The idea for the General Lee was developed from the bootlegger Jerry Rushton's car, which was named for Lee's favorite horse, Traveler. Estimated number of General Lees were used varies from different sources. According to former cast member Ben Jones, aka Cooter, as well as builders involved with the show, claimed 325 were used. Others claimed about 255 were used in the series. Approximately 17 originals still exist. On average, more than one General Lee was used per show. When filming a jump, anywhere from 500 to 1,000 pounds of sandbags or concrete ballast was placed in the trunk to prevent the car from nosing over. Later in the series, the mechanics would raise the front end of the car to keep it from scraping against the ramp, causing it to lose speed, thereby providing a cushion for the driver upon landing. Despite the ballast, the landing attitude of the car was somewhat unpredictable, resulting in a moderate to extremely violent forces. On many of the jumps, the cars bent upon impact. All cars used in large jumps were immediately retired due to structural damage. Chargers 68 and 69 were used and converted to General Lee specifications. Obtaining cars was not a problem until later years. By that time, the car was the star of the show, and Warner Brothers moved building of the cars in-house to keep the cars consistent in appearance. When it got too hard or expensive to continue obtaining more Chargers, the producers started using more jump footage from previous episodes. In the final season, radio-controlled miniatures were occasionally used. Lee 1 was a second car with a roll cage. It had a V8 383 engine. It was originally painted in light bronze metallic with a tan interior and a black vinyl top. Lee 2, like Lee 1, was a second unit car with a full roll cage and a 383 V8. Originally painted blue with a black interior, the interior was repainted tan to match Lee 1 and Lee 3. Lee 3 was the first unit used as a close-up car and the first General Lee built by WB and is seen in the first publicity photos. It was originally medium green metallic with a tan vinyl top. It was powered by a 440 Magnum engine. This car had a tan leather interior and a removable roll bar that allowed installation of a camera for in-car shots. Lee 3 was painted Corvette Flame Red with a special base coat. The base coat was used after they found Lee 1's paint to be blotchy due to the direct application over factory paint. They had first been painted Hemi Orange. Eventually, the first three General Lees started to show visible damage, so the crew had to start making more. By 1983, WB moved full production in-house. The General Lee was now the highlight of the series, and WB received enormous amounts of Lee-specific fan mail that nitpicked the inconsistencies of the cars. Because of the fame of General Lee, WB had their mechanics build the cars to a specific appearance. All graphics had to meet specifications, all side markers and rocker panel chrome trim were removed. Roll bars and push bars had to meet an exact spec. The push bar became wider, the interior became a light beige color, and the roll bars were covered in black foam padding. As the WB era rolled on, finding the cars became difficult. The jumped cars were now no longer scrapped after one jump if deemed salvageable, and were repaired and used until they could no longer function. As a last resort, radio-controlled models were used toward the end of the series to replace most of the big jumps, thereby saving more cars. something that proved unpopular with many episode directors who felt that the models did not look realistic. By this time, there were also a rivalry for TV's greatest car with Knight Rider, leading to the models being used more for grayer jumps to try to outdo that series. Taking full control also saved some money, as now WB had the ability to buy cars, recondition them, and use them without paying daily rental fees. The last season was in 1985, with a total of 7 seasons. Some 20 years later, a movie was produced. Dukes of Hazzard was one of the greatest car TV shows of the 80s.